Fellow Toastmasters, colleagues, good afternoon. I'm Roy, and today the purpose of an icebreaker is to let everyone have a basic understanding of yourself and who you are, why you are here. I have a confession to make though, because I joined Toastmasters 15 years ago, and I'm still active in Toastmasters, so this is not my first speech. I've made many speeches, but I would like to share with you why I've joined Toastmasters 15 years ago. In fact, I've joined a Mandarin Toastmasters where the language is being used is in Mandarin. The purpose of that is to, for work purpose, as many of you would have joined for the same reason, to improve your communication skills, to improve your leadership skills. And at that time, I was having a lot of traveling to China, where of course we conduct business meetings in Mandarin. So that was the purpose of me joining a Mandarin Toastmasters. And I've not looked back since, because it did help me along the way. Right? Not only I become more proficient in the language, but I also become more confident as a result of that experience. But after a while, you realize that it is not just, making speeches and making nice delivery of those prepared speeches. It's also about listening and engagement with your audience. And I think after a while, you will find that if you would like to stay in Toastmasters, there's probably going to be a more compelling reason after all these years. Yep. And what worked for me is that I think it's the fellowship where the people will journey with you from me being a very young man when I first joined and up to now being young at heart. I think that the Toastmasters become your friends eventually, those who stay on. The sense of camaraderie and the sense of fellowship. I've invited many of my fellow Toastmasters to my wedding. They also witnessed to my child, my 3 children, eventually I brought 2 of them to some meetings recently. So I think that's the extension of how Toastmasters is not just a way or platform to improve your communication skills, but also how it plays a part in life in general, when you become more committed towards that. And it comes to the second reason, why did I want to join the English Toastmasters in DB? I've always been interested in speechcraft. I believe that we need to contribute actively to society, and also that's why in the last few years I've been conducting training courses for internal auditors in general, not just within Deutsche Bank but outside. So like a part-time trainer role outside, and I also wanted some feedback on my delivery in English, not just Mandarin. So because that's the medium of instruction, I wanted a lot more direct feedback on how I can improve, because there are blind spots in the languages so I do hope Vinay, as my evaluator, don't go easy on me. I know that we need to be very structured, giving good encouragement, but I appreciate a lot more just go straight to the point and tell me how I should improve. So that's my only request in terms of the evaluation. There's no need to be about the bush, just be harsh with me, I can take it. I'm an auditor after all, I'm used to taking criticism. So I guess that's why I wanted to join, and that's what I hope to get from joining the English Toastmasters. On a personal note, in things of reflection on the run of Ramadan, back to the theme of the day, I think the period of purification, the period of reflection, that actually works in Toastmasters as well, because I find from my personal experience, I tend to eat a lot less in Toastmasters because of the adrenaline rush and of the energy you get from either preparing your roles in Toastmasters. So there's a period of introspective when you reflect upon yourself as well. And as a result, you eat less, and I think it's a good way of purifying yourself. As a Catholic, we have a similar period of Lenten reflection before Easter, but I think that pretty much pales in comparison to Ramadan, where there's a lot more rigorous, fasting. So I guess that's where I hope to connect with the rest by this sharing. At the end of the day, for my personal interests, I like to keep fit. I used to run a lot, but after, I need to switch to a more age-appropriate exercise. I've been doing Pilates. And also in terms of taking care of my mental health, I've been taking daily meditation, just reflecting and silent meditation to help me focus on my mental well-being. So these are the 2 areas which I hope to share more in future in my table topics. Given that I see that I still have a bit of time, maybe just one conclusion. I've been in Deutsche Bank for 6 years. The first 3 years is in the second line, the anti-financial crime compliance department. So 3 years ago, I transited within Deutsche Bank to group audit, when I audit my former colleagues, including Aniru's being one of the departments. So I think one of the challenges, or rather, I think one of the challenges in being an auditor is that you get to make presentation about issues and you need to articulate the risks. And being a Toastmasters, you try to go deeper than just the surface and look at the underlying issues. So that will really help in facilitating discussions. Communication is definitely important in being an auditor. And I think that it's also a bit more than just finding issues to grind about. End of the day, you want to have a professional engagement with everyone. You should see them as colleagues before and after the audit, and I hope that people will see auditors as the same way, right? So that's probably a takeaway that I hope. Auditors are not just people going around for stick to looking for issues, they're also your colleagues. So, I hope that by and large, we should remember that. And by the way, you remember, Christian Saving used to be a group audit head, when he was in Deutsche Bank 10 years ago. So maybe that's my goal and progression to be a CEO or some, maybe not Deutsche Bank, but maybe somewhere else. So thank you very much, everyone, for this time. I'm happy to be here, and I hope to know more about you in the upcoming months and days ahead. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Roy, for sharing your